Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today, well, we got quite the surprise within Warzone. As I'm sure you guys know, over the past month or so, there's been one massive mystery going on in game, and it relates to the intel, or I guess the lack thereof. Because after the start of Season 6, we only got 2 intel missions in the beginning, and then they just completely disappeared entirely. That is, until now, when completely out of the blue, we just got 2 brand new intel missions, one called Outside Influence, and one called the War Room. And yeah, these are pretty big pieces of intel when it comes down to it. In fact, they are the biggest pieces of intel that we have ever seen. So, as always with the new intel, today we're breaking down all the steps for each and what they mean for the overall storyline. So, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And, of course, if you're new to the channel, or if you're watching and you're not already subscribed, we are trying to hit 669k subs before the end of the year. So if you want to stay on top of everything going on in COD, this is the place to be. So feel free to subscribe and maybe even turn on those post notifications. Also, Code Immortal is still 30% off on G Fuel right now. So if you want to grab anything there, now is a great time to do so. So, like I said, the first intel that we've got is called Outside Influence, and the main objective here is to learn the history of the chemical threat. And as always, step 1 is to find the location in the message that Ghost sent you, and when you view this intel, you can see the Ghost coin sitting just above the back area of Karst River Quarry. So to find this piece of intel, obviously we are headed right to where this picture shows. This coin is sitting just above the buildings in the back up on the rocks, so grab that, wait for Ghost to appear on your screen, and you're good to go on to step number 2. Now, step 2 says Arm 3-1 left intel on an apartment rooftop. And when you view this intel, we see a note that says Z using Armistice to launch an attack. We're running out of time. Arm 3-1 has intel, apartment roof, southwest of Atlas Market. So for this one, we're headed to the southwest of Atlas Marketplace, aka Superstore, and on the big apartment building with the buy station at the bottom, you're gonna find this piece of intel sitting on like a board behind one of the staircases, so grab that and you're good to go. Now, moving on to step 3, this one says shipments were tracked to the quarry. And when you view this intel, it says shipments were tracked to the quarry again, block 2B, Z using old rail lines, moving more than just nuclear material. So for this one, you need to head to the quarry area and you want to go inside the far left building towards like the back hole mining area, if you want to call it that. Basically where the B flag is in Ground War. And in here on the computer desk, you're going to find intel number 3. Then for number 4, this one says excess chemicals were being stored. And when you view this one, you see like this map showing a bunch of, I guess, chemical hotspots. And then you also see the sentence, excess moved to Warehouse 3 and Atlas Store, alongside a picture of the containers for the Nova gas inside Superstore itself. So this one is pretty straightforward. You basically just want to head on into the Superstore area right in the very center of it there. And on that little container stack, you're going to find this piece of intel waiting for you. Now for Intel 5, here it says shipments arrived via the Verdansk port. And when you view this one, you see like a hazard materials list. Really, this is not super important besides the fact that it confirms that this is in fact Nova 4 gas being shipped into Verdansk. Now, to find this piece of intel, you want to head on over to the port area right where, I guess like the big entrances are to the sea, and down inside the little cubby that's there closest to the very edge of the map, you're going to find this intel sitting in the back. Now, Intel 6 is kind of an interesting one. It's also a bit frustrating as well, I'm not going to lie. This one says, a prisoner in the Gulag had intel on the chemical's origins. And when you view this one, it says, a prisoner in the Gulag spoke of an island. So, yeah, Rebirth Island actually connects to all of this. Then it says, kept in a cell until they made him fight. Could hold a clue, but the only way in is to get thrown in. So for this one, you actually have to go to the Gulag in a match of Battle Royale. And something tells me this intel was probably supposed to drop back in Season 6, considering the new Gulag isn't a prison anymore. But basically for this one, once you get into a Gulag scenario, you want to run across the top area after you break out of the chair, and you should find this intel waiting for you near one of the catwalks. But you do have to grab it before you get thrown into a fight, which can be kind of obnoxious. But anyways, moving on to number 7, this one says, the prisoner left a message and it says, bunker 1 and then the bunker code for bunker number 1. Except, this is entirely incorrect. I'm not sure how this happened, but the intel is actually in bunker 3, which is just above bunker number 1 on the map. It's just over like by the boneyard area across the street. And to get into bunker 3, the code is 87624851. Luckily in my game, someone else already opened it up for me, but inside the bunker just to the right, this piece of intel can be found. Then the final intel for this one says, Zakhaev has a target. And when you view this one, it is a pretty long note explaining the state of the Nova program in Verdansk. This talks about how Nova evolved in Verdansk itself, and then it says it's going to continue to be produced on Rebirth Island. So I would honestly expect some more story to maybe come from that in the future. Then there's also a sticky note that references the abort code, which is going to come into play here shortly. So that is basically how to complete the whole outside influence intel. But then we have the War Room intel mission, which I would say is the single biggest piece of intel that we've ever gotten, and in just a few moments, you'll see why. So the main objective here is to simply stop Zakhaev. And of course, we gotta find the ghost coin first and foremost. So when you view this one, you're gonna see the ghost coin sitting on the wall just across the street from bunker number 10. So to find this one, I'd say go ahead and drop at bunker 10, then just check the wall across the street and grab the coin to continue. Then step 2 says mark locations for the assault teams. And when you view this one, you see 3 different locations and it says Price gave the green light. We hit the silo today. Activate beacons for the assault teams. I've supplied a map with locations. Abort code is still an option if we can find it. And for this one, you actually just need to land at one of these 3 locations. Personally, I chose the apartments over by the carnival area, and then right in the very corner, you can find this intel piece waiting. Then for number 3, this one gets skipped by like some kind of bug. It just automatically unlocks for you. And it says to learn about the Office of Requiem. Then it has a super long note talking about Cold War zombies and Requiem as a whole, which honestly is pretty cool to see within Warzone. But then for step 4, this one says Ghost tracked Arm 3-1 to a campsite near the prison. And we get a note that says teams are inbound. Abort code is still viable. Tracked Arm 3-1 to a campsite west of prison. See what you can find. This campsite is located just down by the shack outside of the prison on like a smaller ledge, and the backpack is just sitting there for you to grab, so go ahead and do that, and you're on to step number 5. Now mission 5 here says interference is coming from bunker 11. And the note this time says heavy comms interference like when this began. Source is bunker 11, we need to find a way in. Z used phones and bunkers against us, maybe we can turn the tables. But there's something else, half a click off the coast. This threat isn't just contained in Verdansk. AKA, this threat is on Rebirth Island too. Now this intel is simply located inside of the prison shack, so just head right back to where you just were and go into the shack. To get inside of that, the code is 729-48531. Then inside you can get this intel piece as well. Now the final searching mission says broadcast the abort code from downtown. And here we get an image that says emergency shutdown isn't working, abort code is 6157. Head to the roof of BCH4 in downtown, get the message out. So if you go to downtown, head to the big old broadcast building there, the one where everyone just loves to camp, and you'll find the intel objective on the radio tower on the top. So interact with that and you're good to go back to the main menu where you're going to be met with this cutscene here.
Bravo 6 degrees. Go green.
Copy actual. Demon teams have cordoned off the silo.
Guys, report.
At the tower Ghost. We hacked Zakhaev's comms. He's up. Stand by.
Our victory today will be decisive. Together, we put a knife to the neck of history. It's time now for the final cut. All stations be advised. Zakhaev's lighting the fuse. We don't have much time. Farah, where are you?
At the entry with Alex, creating a diversion.
Guards are coming our way now, actual.
Keep them busy.
They came to Verdansk to stop us, but they couldn't resist fighting each other. This war is 50 years in the making. No more treaties, no more diplomacy. These weapons will no longer lie dormant. Your work is not in vain, Father. Show yourself. You're wasting your...
Victor.
Captain Price, I am not surprised.
You're a dead man, Zakhaev.
I started a war. Killing me won't stop it.
Oh, I won't kill you. But the fool will.
Wait.
All stations. Zakhaev is dead, but the missile is hot. Nick, I need the codes now.
Copy. Use the counter slow.
6,
1,
1,
5.
5. Say again. Nick. Say again. I've lost you, Nick. Bloody hell, Nick. The last digit.
Evidence. 1, 5, evidence.
What call signs this net? Launch is terminated. Mission accomplished.
This isn't over.
Not by a long shot.
McTavish to actual.
So, what's your position?
Have a click off the coast. Things are really heating up out here.
Hold tight. We're moving your way. On me.
So, that is the final Warzone intel cutscene, at least for now. Apparently in the files, it's named Warzone Finale or something like that, so the nuke has been stopped. Verdansk is, I guess, kind of safer now, and Soap is coming to the game. Yes, you heard that right. John Soap McTavish, the icon himself, the man, the myth, the legend, was talking to Price over the comms there, and the trailer ends with them going to meet up. So we've got a new operator coming to the game, maybe. We do have some leaks that we got to cover that sort of involves that as well. So if you guys want to see that video, be sure to drop a like on this one. But maybe we're going to see some future intel over on Rebirth as well. But for now, that is effectively the end of Warzone intel, at least what we can assume is the end of the Warzone intel for the moment. And that is everything we just learned from it. And that's also going to wrap things up for today. What a video, man. I wasn't expecting to make this one, but man, it's cool to see it finally come full circle. The ending to this wasn't really what I expected. Honestly, I expected the nuke to go off and that's how we would sort of transition to a brand new map, but we're gonna have to wait and see what happens here in the future. But that is gonna wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here and you wanna stay up to date with everything going on in COD, from news to intel to updates and everything else in between, this is the place to be, so feel free to subscribe and maybe even turn on those post notifications. Also, like I mentioned in the intro, right now WhosImmortal is still 30% off on G Fuel, so if you want to grab a new tub, a shaker cup, a starter pack, anything from the G Fuel site, WhosImmortal has got you covered. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.